So I think the potential of the Electro Harmonix Freeze for practice is profound. I think it's an incredibly useful pedal. And I just wanted to use this video to share with you 4 ways that I like to work with it, just for practice. The Freeze pedal is a pedal made by Electro Harmonix, and they describe it as a sound retainer. You simply play a chord or play a single note, click the button, and then it will sustain that sound for you to practice over. If you'd like help practicing jazz guitar with purpose, then click subscribe, hit that notification bell, join me every Wednesday and Saturday for jazz guitar lessons. Now, on to today's video. So first thing I'm going to do is play with just one note and then show you what you can do with that. So I'm just going to play the note C, press the pedal, then that will sustain that. So we've got the C going on here. Now what's cool about this is, well, we can turn the volume down of that note first off, but that's just a note C. And then you can practice that in many different ways. So you could be like, right, I can do the C major scale against it. Could do C major pentatonic. C minor pentatonic. Because it's not major or minor, you can practice everything in parallel in C. C blues. Improvise over it. Let's go major scale. Go minor, harmonic minor maybe. Dorian, as I slipped into there by mistake. You practice your modes of C, so you know, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, mixed Lydian, and so on. You know, there's many options there. But the idea is you can really, you know, if you've got a C, well, it makes you think about, well, what can I do over that C? What can I create over it? What sounds can I go for? How much have I internalized the sounds of those scales? Second thing is I really love this for arpeggio practice, and for the same reason. You could do this in 2 ways. I could either play the root C again, so it goes C, and then I could practice all my C arpeggios, like C triad. And while I'm doing this, I'm trying to hear it in my head, or I might even sing it, or hum it. Or what we could do, C6. I'm hearing it before I play it though. C major 7, C major 9. We could go, you know, dominant, minor, triad, minor 7, minor 6, minor 7 flat 5, diminish, augmented. So many different ways you could play with it, but it's a good way just to practice that. And if I did it with, so that would be practicing your arpeggios in parallel. The other thing you could do is get it to sustain a chord like C minor 7 that I've got now, and then just practice your C minor 7 arpeggios like there on 1 string or 2 strings, or more traditional boxy shapes. Depends on what you're doing, and like trying to start from, not from the root, trying to start from, say, the 3rd, or improvising just with those chord tones, that sort of thing, or putting other arpeggios over the top of it. But that could be one way you work with it. My third way is to get used to playing over 1 chord. Now, more often than not, you know, we're trying to learn a tune, we're trying to solo over it, and there's chord changes and things get complicated quite quickly because we maybe don't know those chords as well, or we don't know how to play over them. Now, one of the things I favourite is playing over 1 chord for that very reason. Like, if you can't say over anything over 1 chord, what makes you think you can do it over many chords? So this isn't about practicing arpeggios, this is about practicing creating musical ideas over that chord before you worry about chord change. So I've got a C major 7 chord, and I could practice making musical ideas over it with either just using my ear or structures I want to call upon. I feel like going for a Lydian sort of vibe. Went for a bit of an outside idea there, didn't I? There. You hear the idea? So you could think from scales or arpeggios perspective, but it just gives you a chance to really think about, you know, if I've got a C major 7 chord, can I actually find, or can I hear stuff, more importantly, can I hear stuff and that I can play? And the loss of the sense of timing, I mean, you might end up sort of slipping into your own sort of sense of timing, but you don't have to. And it just takes away that pressure of, oh, another chord change, got to work out where I am, create ideas. And this just gives you that luxury to kind of stop all that nonsense and just focus on trying to hear ideas and create musical things, which is, you know, really should be the goal of our practice with improvising overall, in my opinion. And this fourth way is sort of compositionally sort of creating musical ideas. So I'm going to just have this C going on in the background as a drone. I'm going to put chords to it. So like, if we've got a C going, I could put the chords in the key of C to it, like C, triad, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished. Some will sound better than others. Back to C. Yeah, see they're just going between C and F because they share that note. So that can work pretty well. So you get that interest of tension and suspense created by, you know, that one thing sounding the same while other things change. Some of it might work against it, some of it might not. But it's something just to play with. Check out Bill Frisell's, I think it's NPR sessions, where he's doing sort of Beatles songs with just himself, a looper, and the freeze, and he creates wonderful things. His version of Strawberry Fields with it is to die for. I don't think this pedal will get used too much in a band situation. Maybe in like psychedelic music or something, it could be quite cool, but I think it's just a wonderful tool in the practice room for some of those ideas I mentioned. And I think often we jump to just working with chord changes and backing tracks and things when actually we can't say something over one chord. Which brings me to my final way. Really, there's 5 ways that I thought up, which is, you know, if you gave someone 8 bars of the same chord, they probably find it quite difficult to play over it. Be like, what do I do over that? And yet the trick is, you know, if you've got the same chord for a long time, you have to create movements which aren't there. So say if I put this C major chord going, the basic, you know, in thing is C major. Whether that be the arpeggio, C major 7, or the scale. But what you have to do is create things which aren't there. So like, a sound I like is going to the minor 4, so like C major to F minor, back to C. Just like C, F minor, back to G, or the 5th of C, that is. That's going B triad to C triad, and then a D flat triad above. Chromatic. That was chromatic enclosure of the C. So creating some movement that's not there. You can play out of key chords, or sometimes, you know, like B flat 7, like that, or play chords in key. So there's like E minor 7 to C, D minor 7 to C. That was C, F to C. What about C, G, C? So I'm creating movements which aren't there, which is quite a fun thing to do, really. Some other videos to check out for myself, linked to some of the things I've done today. The arpeggio sandwich and arpeggios for the 1 chord, that would illustrate some of the things I've just done there. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button for jazz guitar lessons every Wednesday and Saturday. Until next time, you take care.